While the paint is drying up on the discs, I'm gonna start working on the bottom box where all the connectors and whatnot are going to be. So this is the electrical box that I got yesterday, and what I thought of doing, once this is going to be like that, and when the pole goes through this, it will need some sort of support at the bottom, not to move around and wiggle, and to be straight upright. So what I thought of doing is I've centered this on the box. This is the cover from the CD cake, and I've roughly traced out outline of where it needs to sit, and I'm gonna cut it out and drop it at the bottom. The idea is this has got a little indent that fits really snugly over the pole. It's just exactly 15 millimeters in diameter, so this will stop it from moving around. So seems ideal. The only thing is I've got some extra moldings inside of the box, so probably I'll cut it out, drop it, mark it again for those cutouts, cut those out and drop it down again, and that should do it. Right, so this is the idea. I thought about gluing this in place, but it actually fits so snugly and so well centered inside that there's no point in applying any glue. This is quite strong, it won't move, it doesn't wiggle at all. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. And move on to something next, I guess. I've also cut out a little slot in the pole over here. I really should have done it before I painted everything, but I can still touch it up. But the idea is, once this fits through and sits in here, let me get one of the let me just get one of those covers on so you get the idea. This will allow the wires to slip underneath the cover, like so, and there's going to be another cover over here, and basically the wires will sit flush in here. I'll maybe fill it up with epoxy, I'll see if it's needed. Yeah, and this will let the wires go through from the top section, from where the discs will start, underneath this one, so they won't be just flapping around. And I'll probably, at this stage, I'll cut a little hole over here for the wires to go through underneath, and that's where the connections will be made. And here are all the discs painted after basking in the sun for a while. And yeah, what I've got to do now, because I didn't mask it off, so I need to clean off the edges. I'll probably just use a bit of toilet tissue and some acetone to clean off the edges clean. I'll see how that goes. If it's straightforward enough, that should take me maybe 10-15 minutes, and after that I'll start stacking them up onto the pole and making all the electrical connections. Right, so it turns out acetone wasn't doing good enough job with removing the paint off the edge. So the sandpaper is the way to go, and I've sanded this down a little bit, and this is pretty much the effect that I'm achieving. The only thing is that I've noticed the LEDs are not completely covered, so it's not fully black on the inside. I'm gonna decide what to do, whether to leave it that way and that will just glow in the middle a little bit, or fully cover them up in maybe nail polish or something. I probably will. But yeah, this is the sort of effect that I'll be getting. I think it's gonna look cool when I stack a large amount of those on top of one another. Okay, it's a little messy, but I've finally finished, so all the edges are sanded off. It's a little dusty, but all of that just comes off. Yeah, and now I've got the issue of the LEDs shining through in certain places, so this is what I got for that. That's just black. 60-second super shine, Rimmel, London. Yeah, local supplier. I'm not sure if this stuff's any good, but should be. Anyways, yeah, I've got to start putting those on onto the rod, the spindle, the dowel that I've painted, and start, I guess, checking them one by one. I think that will be the easiest, and apply power to it, apply this stuff, then stick it on, or just slide it on, wipe the dust maybe beforehand, and do them one by one. I've just got to make sure I start with the ones that got 2 wires, so I've got to decide on the color sequence, and I guess stick to that through the rest of it, repeat it 5 times, and yeah, that's about it. So let's get on with that. Okay, I've got a nice stack already. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the lucky disc number 13 I'm gonna be putting on, and I'll show you how I'm doing this. So before I put it on, there's, by the way, in assembling this, there's a lot of testing. After every step I need to I'm plugging in the power supply, and making sure everything lights up and everything is correctly wired, that I didn't misconnect any of the colors. But yeah, I've already pre-tinned the end of the wire for the what is this, red, I think. Oh, I forgot already. Let's actually test it. So oh yeah, that's gotta be orange. And is this orange? Yeah. So I've pre-tinned the wire for the orange one, and I'll slide the disc on top. Not all the way, maybe this way you'll be able to see better. So now I've got to thread all the existing wires up through one of the slots. Like so. And I have to lower the disc down, holding on to the wires that I've just threaded in. And I should have, maybe let me zoom in. So, come on, focus. No. There we go. So, over here, this is the common positive wire. And I'm gonna bend it just like that. And solder it in place. All the discs are keeping the same distance because of the spaces that I've put in. Now I thought about, I was worried that maybe the solder will see through because everything's black and whatnot, but it actually doesn't matter. And when I tried to cover all the LEDs in paint, it's impossible. I've even gone and started putting this on afterwards, but on the edges they will still shine through. So I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna accept it the way it is. Besides, unless you're looking directly onto it like this, you can't see them. Anything like that, you won't be able to see that there's anything shining through, but they're just a little bit glowing only, so that's fine, I guess. But anyways, back to moving on to this section. I've got to get this wire close, and I need to connect it here to the same pin and as I've got the wire on this disc connected. So to do that, I'll use a piece of scalpel just to scratch off a little bit of paint. Put a little bit of solder on the iron. And that should be done. Now with the excess wire, what I'm doing is I'm basically stuffing it anywhere on the inside, usually between one of the supports and the main pin, like so. So it's not protruding anywhere and it's out of sight. So now we should test. It's white, purple, red, orange and green. It actually looks quite nice. I'm going to switch off the lights for a moment. Probably only seeing the glow from the power supply. But yeah, it's turning out okay. It's actually quite bright. At the moment I'm just putting this through a single resistor, and it's at a very minimal current, but when I put a couple of milliamps through those LEDs, it's actually quite bright. So yeah, I'm going to press on with this now and continue building up the layers. I've got well, that was 13, so I've got 12 more left, and I'll be able to finish up the mechanical assembly, glue it in, secure it, and connect the Arduino. There we go, that's completed and assembled. So all that's left to do is put the electrics inside to control this. One thing, the slot I've cut out here for the wires, I thought just to secure them a little bit better, I'm actually going to use the nail polish and cover it quite liberally in that, so that will keep it nice in place. But other than that, I can move on to sticking. Well, probably use. I thought is going to be Arduino, 5 transistors, one for each color, one switch, because since I've got an Arduino in there, I will be able to set up different animations on here, and a pot. I've got a 10K pot somewhere that I will stick in to get this. With the pot I will be able to control the speed of transitions in the animations that I will pre-program to the Arduino. But yeah, I'll leave the nail polish to dry off. By the way, those bits here are not glued in yet. I think later on when I get to it, I'll probably epoxy them in place, so the whole thing stays solid and it doesn't move, but it's quite rigid, so that's fine. And quite some time later, I've done some of the electricals. So what I did is I super glued the main components over here just to the top plate of the box. Those are 5 2N2222 transistors. Those are just switching regular box standard jelly bean transistors, and 7805. This is going to give me 5 volts, just a few milliamps to power up Arduino, with a couple of caps attached just so it stays stable, and that's all there is to it. So I've got a series resistor with each transistor. Each transistor is connected to separate transistor and whatnot, and from there all the emitters are coupled up and they go to ground, and the bases I've connected to wires that colors correspond to the color of the LEDs later on, so it's easier to keep track of them later on when I get them connected. Now in the box I've mounted a 10K pot and a switch. I need to mount a power jack somewhere on here for a 12 volt power supply, and then I need to change the button because I've just realized after testing it that it's a dud. It doesn't work. So go figure. It was a brand new button actually, but it's no worky. So I need to get this changed to another one, and yeah, connect little Arduino, and I'll be able to start writing some code to get things blinking and whatnot. Okay, so I've drilled the power socket over here, and yeah, I've connected Arduino. I've just put the cover lid and used two chopsticks to leave a gap basically for all the wires while I'm working on this, and I've uploaded a sample sketch, just modified it a little bit to output to all 5 analog pins I wanted, and it's just a simple fading sketch from Arduino IDE, and everything seems to be working as expected, so no nasty surprises. Hooray! What I've got to do now is work out some clever animations for this, and upload it to the Arduino, and remove the chopsticks, box it up, and that's it. So yeah, I'll get on with thinking what sort of animations I'll put on. This works quite nice. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, maybe if I switch the lights off. Produces a nice effect. Just the rings of light. But yeah, it will be more interesting to play with a few more animation patterns for this, and see what I can get this to do. Okay, here it is pretty much completed. I just need to screw it all together and pack everything into the base. One thing though, on my previous test, when I was so excited to get it going, I forgot to include some resistors that go from Arduino into the driving transistors, and yeah, the Arduino wasn't very happy with that. After about 10 minutes of playing with it, it got really hot. Nothing blew up, thankfully. So yeah, I've put the resistors on the Arduino pins, and I wrapped the stuff in the electrical tape, just so it doesn't touch up, because those pins were sticking out quite a bit. And yeah, this now can go in here. Now I've also soldered in a piece of mini USB cable to the output of LM7805 to get the 5 volt to Arduino. And yeah, there's a couple of modes. I've put basically 3 modes into this. Later on may play around with different different animations on this, but right now what it does is, let me just speed it up a little bit. So one is fully switched off, one will allow me to use the pod to control the brightness of all the discs at once, and the main one is in random. This is really quick, and the pod controls the speed of transitions, but this is just randomly fading in and out each color. This is using the pseudo random function of Arduino, so it's kind of random, but yeah, sometimes it blinks same color a couple of times, but it turned out okay. So yeah, I'm just going to put this back all together into one piece now. Okay, and that's finished lamp now. I've changed one thing from a moment ago, so I didn't quite like the way it was fading in and out. So I did some research, and I found a nice little lookup table for Arduino to do a gamma correction on LED, which produces much smoother fading effect. So I'm much more happier with this than previously. But that's pretty much finished. So yeah, that was the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed the build. This is at the moment set on the very lowest delay, so the fastest speed available on this. The idea is I'll actually crank it up, but and it will the fading time between the colors will be more than 1 minute. So it will very gradually just change the light from one color to another. But just for the video, I've sped it up a little bit, kept it on the fastest. But when I crank this up a lot higher, it becomes a lot slower. So that's all. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm messing now, taking something apart. Now it might seem quite simple and quick on the video, because I'm not sure how long the video is going to be, but it will be. It won't be as long as the actual build, but this took me over a week to get this completed, probably about 10 days, bearing in mind I've been working on this only in the evenings after work. So yeah, if you want to make something similar, please do. A lot of fun. I've learned quite a bit on fading LEDs and gamma correction. That was interesting, and mechanically was somewhat straightforward. There was a lot of fiddling, but yeah, it turned out quite okay. So this already has been requested by my son to go into his room, so that's where we'll probably end up. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more junk. I'll be taking something apart shortly, I hope so. And that's all. Take care.